Yo, so this is showcase 2 of the dynamic weapon system. I added a bunch of stuff, as I'm sure you can tell. It's kind of a script I'm going on. So I added a regular magazine, press reload. When you run out of ammo, auto reloads. A generator reloads one bullet every certain amount of seconds. A finisher, so a magazine that the last bullet does double damage. A rifle, which is just like a standard way of shooting. Um, Shotgun, right? Low accuracy, fires multiple bullets. And a snub, or I call this a SMG. Low accuracy, faster move speed, and shoots faster. The ammo, we have hit scan bullets, grenades, regular bullets, of course, and then the laser that you have to charge to shoot up. So this one I'm gonna be showing off. Um, so we have a basic weapon script. Just has some stats, cumulative stats, and a way to attach components. Just like the first time, if I attach a component, you should see the cumulative stats update to be whatever the weapon stats have, right? So base stats are 5 ammo. This adds 5 max ammo minus 1 reload time. So reload time's 3, right? You can see the difference there. You can see shooter name is none because I haven't attached any of these shooters. So I got these 3 mags, mechanical, which is the first one, generator, and finisher. So I'll show off mechanical first. I have basic instantiate shooter. This is my rifle one. This is about as simple as it gets. So I'll show this off. You can see again, added some stats. I don't even know what I added. 50 damage. So when we click play, I didn't bother with making any assets for this one, but let me zoom out so you can see it. And then when we fire, an instantiates a bullet. Simple, right? When you run out of ammo, reloads. Now you can see it with this reload timer. Boom. And you can see the stats. Reload time in seconds. It's 3, so this goes up to 3. Also press R to reload. Alright. Reload time in seconds 3. Goes up to 3. Basic instantiate shooter. Just instantiate a basic bullet. What's nice though is if I grab some of these bullets, right? I have a basic bullet, a ray cast, a grenade. I can drag any of these onto here. So right now it's the basic bullet. I drag the basic ray on. Alright, it shoots a ray cast. I have it draw a little laser line. I can drag a grenade on. Just instantiates a grenade and shoots it. So. And then 2, I can hot swap. So if I instead grab the generator mag on, whoops. Boom. You can see 1, the stats update. Right. Max ammo's plus 15. The reload time went away. And then 2, as I'm shooting, let's open that generator mag script up. You can see the generate time and time to generate 1 bullet. So this is constantly going up. We'll wait till it gets to 20. Okay, and it stops, right? And then for the finisher mag, I actually did this as a wrapper. So what that means is it has a mechanical mag on it, right? So I attach that to it. When I put the finisher mag on, you can see all the stats update, but they update based on the mechanical mag. And when the finisher mag shoots, it's going to shoot like it is the mechanical mag. But when we get down to 1 bullet left, you'll see the damage multiplier goes from 1 to 2, right? Because we're adding damage here. So watch this damage multiplier, right? We're going to reload because we're using the mechanical mag, and it goes back down to 1. And then as we shoot, we shoot, we shoot, we shoot. Right, 2 bullets is at 1. 1 bullet it goes up to 2. Right, so that's how we do, you know, very last bullet deals double damage. And then boom, shoots, reloads, goes back down to 1. And we should be able to drag the generator mag onto it. And you can see the stats update, right? And then when we shoot, now we're using the generator mag. All right, so that's kind of the power of this, is that any mag that I create, let's get the bullets down again. You can see the ammo going up at the top. Double damage, it reloads. So we shoot our double damage, goes up by 1. So you can think about, you know, as a player, how you would metagame this. Always be on the last bullet if you combine these two, right? Because once we reload up to 2 bullets, there goes the damage multiplier. So, and those are just the magazines, right? With this basic shooter, we have a couple other shooters. So shotgun shooter, fun one. I'm just gonna put the mechanical mag back on. Shotgun shooter, you guessed it. Boom. I have this spread. That spread is set to super high, but if you decrease it, then you know we can just drag another bullet on here, right? So let's go basic bullet. Boom. Let's go raycast. Raycast is my favorite. And you know, maybe on this you wanna decrease the fire rate by some amount. So let's set the fire rate. What's it at now? 25. So let's decrease the fire rate some. And reattach it so that it updates. It didn't update. Oh, there it goes. This just has to validate is how that works. I guess because I didn't take it off, you know, put it back on. Now it's there. That's just the way I programmed it to work in the on validate, but obviously you can just have like a callback method or something that, you know, another object can call. Actually, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the basic weapon has this attach method. And whenever it validates, it just attaches all of them, basically. Reattach all is true, and then the update method, if reattach all, and then reattach all just goes through, clears out the attachables, reattaches everything. Because that's just the easiest way to do it when you're trying to, you know, validate without the application plan. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, we decrease the spread. Nice. I just love the way that one looks. So we could do, you know, let's increase the ammo by a fucking lot on the shotty. So let's increase it to like, I don't know, let's give it 20 more shots. And if we remove that and add it back, so max ammo 30, right? Isn't that sick? Let's move on. So the laser shooter, this is the one that has to charge up over time. So I'll drag it on, and again we can use whatever kind of bullet. Obviously a raycast bullet makes the most sense. We have this shoot time that is also multiplied by the fire rate, or divided by, or something like that. It's affected by the fire rate. So if we do something like, you know, boost the fire rate up a bunch and then come down here to make this revalidate, right, the shoot time's a lot lower. So I'll show you what that looks like. Let me put this back at 25 because that works better. So when you hold mouse 1, you should see the charge time going up, right, up to 2.4. Boom, and then it shoots. If we increase the shoot time, it should take longer to shoot. And if we decrease it, it should take less time to shoot. So 0.7, right? all the way up to 4.2 seconds. Crazy. Then you know you can adjust, okay, super high damage on this one, or whatever you want to do with it. Yeah. And then the SMG shooter. So we've looked at shoddy barrel. We've looked at you know, the high hit scan, damage to shoot, whatever. The SMG shooter we're going to show next. So this is the low accuracy, faster move speed. Voila. Looks like an SMG, right? And then if we open up his stats, you know, we got a bullet spread. This could just be affected by, you could add a weapon stat for accuracy that affects the SMG and the shoddy, but I'm lazy, so obviously as you increase the spread, increases, decrease the spread. Little laser beam. Basic instantiate shooter is what I'm treating as this rifle. You know, just simple. That's the last little show and tell. A little fun one I added. Let's see if you can guess what this does. The random instantiate shooter, huh? Just randomly picks bullets. It's kind of fun, right? But yeah, so this is just two types, right? This is a magazine and a shooter from the barrel, you know. Obviously most attachments, so like if you added a stock, maybe it just changes the move speed stats or, you know, accuracy stats, or not everything has to do something, but it can. It's kind of the cool part. Let me see if I'm missing anything else. I went through all the magazines. Something else that was kind of cool. I don't think I did it with this. So actually I did, right? So most of these take game objects, right? You have to have some kind of prefab. But what's kind of neat is you can have things call themselves. So I'm gonna show that off real quick. We're gonna go scripts, classes, weapon parts. I'm gonna make a new shooter. Yeah, I showed all those off. So we're gonna go double shooter. Does that make sense? Hang on, I gotta think about what I want to do here. Oh yeah, I know what I want to do. Let's go random shooter. And then I'm gonna steal some of my code here. I already have the random instantiate shooter. Really all I want is this right here. Let's see. The random shooter. Then we need to have we're gonna do components instead of game objects. So the way the random instantiate shooter takes a list of shootable objects, then when you shoot, you know, you get a random range from size of the object, instantiates a random one, and then calls shoot on the object. Then this is just like a validate script to help with errors and edge cases and whatnot. You know, make sure whatever you attach is shootable. Make sure you're not double attaching things, you know. So that's why I'm stealing it. But instead on this one, we're going to do components instead of game objects. And I will show you why. We're going to call it shootables. And we're going to fix any errors that pop up. So component here, component there. Instead of doing this, we're gonna go shootable is not. Hang on, let me double check where I was deleted. Yeah, so this is checking that it does have a component of iShootable, but instead we want to know if this component is. So if it's not an iShootable, don't add it to the new list. If we already have this component, skip it. Boom. And then we want to make this a serialized field. So this is kind of the workflow, right? I'm going a little fast, but really it's just simple. And then let's drag it onto our weapon script. You probably don't want to have every attachment ever on the weapon script. You know what I mean? That's just how I'm doing it right now because I'm lazy as hell. See, random shooter. No. What? Boom. All right. So let's add a random shooter. Okay, cool. So now we got these shootables. And so now that it's a component, what we can do is take our random instantiate shooter, add it right on. And then so hypothetically we shouldn't be able to add it twice, right? SMG shooter, right? Can't add it twice. And we can't add anything that's not a shooter, so can't add a mag. That's the point of this validate script, right? So let's add, we got a SMG shooter, instantiate shooter, shoddy shooter. Cool. I'm not gonna add the laser shooter, and you will see why. Basic instantiate shooter. All right. And then instead of instantiating it, all we're gonna do. So let's go. Yeah, instead of instantiating the object, let's get the random. And then we're just gonna call. Right. So we have to do a cast because you can't serialize interfaces. So like if I was gonna do, the reason I do it like this is I was gonna do iShootable, you know, basic stats. And then try to serialize this field to make it show up in the inspector. It's not gonna want to show up. So yeah, you see our random list didn't show up, which is why I do it the way I did with the on validate and all that. But all that means is we have to do a cast here. See, iShootable basic stats, and then we can call shoot the stats, the position, and the Euler angle. So we're gonna take in a random list of these components and then grab one at random and then just call shoot on that instead. So then he look. Let's see what happens. Oh, right, because we're still at the basic instantiate shooter. Random shooter. What the hell? What the hell? What the hellion? Right. Oh wait, that's the random instantiate shooter. What happened to the random shooter? Oh, it doesn't like that. Where's the basic weapon script? Oh, so many fucking scripts. Basic weapon. There we go. Uh, oh wait, we need to do reattach all. So I got a feeling it has something to do with this. Alright, random shooter. So it has a mag. But it doesn't yet. The other one? What? Attachable components. Oh, so we never even get to this point. So let's follow it down the rabbit trail. Random shooter, attachable components. You know exactly. I know exactly what I did. It's doing exactly what it should do. Because we never implemented the interface. Whoa. Can't attach if it's not an attachable. Basic stats. And it's a shooter. iShootable. So we already implemented this one. Go control dot. Voila. And I'm gonna steal some stuff. Not from this one though. Because this is all basically the same. So yeah, we have stats. When apply stats is called, we just add our stats to it. On attach, the weapon becomes this weapon, and we set the shooter. On detach, we subtract our stats. We return our stats, and we're not doing anything in perform action on this one. Simple. All right, now let's see what happened. Yes, very good. Oh goodness. Oh, you can see the SMG shots. So hang on, let me show this off a little bit better. We're gonna clone this. We're gonna rename it basic bullet yeller, because we're gonna take a little different approach here and we're gonna make it yeller. What the hell, lady? What the hell? Oh, we gotta add new material. Wait a minute, we have a new material. We have a new material. Can you tell I'm not a fucking Unity guy? Boom. What the? Okay, whatever. It just doesn't want to look like it. Where's our weapon? These aren't going away because they didn't hit the wall. And I didn't add any like actual script to make it good. You know what I mean? I just had it, if it hits wall, die. And then say boom in the chat. Boom. Chat, is this guy cooking? Alright, SMG, we're gonna go basic bullet yeller. And then we're low key. Let's get this freaking ammo number up, dude. So yeah, the SMG shooting yeller bullets. Nice. But the basic bullet shouldn't be yeller. Oh shit. Oh, we accidentally made the new material yeller. I knew it was too good to be true. Let's create a new material. Alright, there we go. There we go. SMG gets basic bullet yeller. Now we gotta change the material here. Ta-da! Now we're cooking with gas. Are we? Are we cooking with gas? Oh, yep. See, there's the SMG shooter. We just got unlucky. Isn't that neat? So yeah. Even though our random shooter is a shootable, it can have a list of shootables that it can also shoot. If you want to get really freaky with it, you could have a random shooter that takes in a list of these guys. You see what I'm saying? You starting to look what I'm stepping in? Because if you look at the bullet script, the basic bullet, it's also a shootable. Because what do you do to bullets? You shoot them. What do you do to guns? You shoot them. What do you do to a gun that shoots guns? Shoot it. So all this does is gets its rigid body and adds a force. Let me look at these other bullets here. So the raycast bullet, you'll never guess what it does. Shoots a raycast. If it doesn't hit nothing, then it, creates a little line renderer with a little animation and all that. Yeah, there's the animation. Grenade bullet, same deal, except on the rigid body we allow. It's basically the exact same thing. It's a basic bullet. But on the rigid body it has gravity. And we debugged that log, boom. But yeah, that's my little script. I hope it kind of better showcases how things can interact with each other, because you can do things like even on our laser shooter, if we make that the main shooter, right, it has to charge up. That doesn't have to be a laser, you can make that. Well, one, we can make it a component and it could shoot a shotgun if we wanted it to, or we could just make it a grenade launcher. See what I'm saying? But the same way we made these components, if I just made this a component, then we could add the shotty shooter to it and you charge up to shoot the shotgun. So the way these all combine is anything can combine with anything pretty much. As long as it has that iAttachable script, this right here, then it's guaranteed that it'll attach to the weapon and that it can apply stats to the weapon. So pretty nifty. I think that's everything. Yep. Oh, other than the hold up, wait a minute, hold up. Jump scare.